gluten and dairy free, I thought, why not try, why not take the skins off and just do it this way? So that's what I'm doing. So once I get done doing all these almonds this way, then I will put them in my blender, my Vitamix, and I will blend it. Well, I put water in too, so I'll pour them in, and then I'll put filtered water in the Vitamix container, and probably about 4 or 5 cups, just depending. And then I'll blend it, and I'll put it on high speed, and it'll just grind up all the almonds, seeds, to a pulp. And then I have a milk bag, and I put it in a container, another container, and I pour the almond milk through into the nut bag. And the milk goes through, obviously, and the pulp stays in the bag. And then I take the pulp and I put it in a plastic bag into my freezer. And once I get a whole lot, which right now I have about a gallon, then I will defrost it, and then I will put it in baking sheets, and I will put it in my oven at 200 degrees, and it will dry in there. And every once in a while you have to go in and stir it a little bit. And after it's all dry, then I will have almond flour. So the wet almonds is called almond meal. And then after it dries, it's called almond flour, because you put it through I have a high-speed blender for grinding, and then it'll turn it into flour. So that's what I'm doing. I do have a bunch of ground up pulp from the other almonds that have the skins as well as the ground up seeds in it, and so it's kind of brown and white. And for the longest time I was using that for baking, and so I decided to change it all over just to the white almond meal, to the white almonds meal, and then make my own almond flour. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I pour about a cup of almonds into a bowl, and I put spring water in, and then let it sit for a couple of hours, and then sit here for a little while and squeeze off the almond skins. One of many things I do. Seems a little tedious, which it is, but that's okay. It's actually a lot cheaper to make your own almond milk, I think. For one thing, there's no chemicals in it. These are organic almonds. I get, I think I get about 5 pounds. And it'll last me like a month and a half, maybe. And for like $18. And but what I like about it is I can make my own milk. It has no preservatives, no sugars, no salt in it. I mean, you have to add the salt or the sugars if you wish. I used to do that, but now I just drink it plain with nothing in it other than the almond and the almond milk. And also I use it for cooking. So if I'm making a bread or anything. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it into milk. and I'll let you watch it for a few seconds, and then I'll stop the, and then you'll see it when it's done. Now here is my nut bag, and I put it in this other blender container. Ugh, excuse me. And then I just pour it in here. Little too much. Okay, so what happens here is I have these milk bottles. I have 2 of them. And so what I will do is, first of all, I'm just going to put a little water in them, some filtered water, and shake them first. Kind of fresh in the bottle, so. These came out of the dishwasher, and so I like to just shake them. Okay. All right, so now the next thing is I take the milk bag. This is kind of reminds me of, not that I've ever done it, but it kind of reminds me of, milking a cow in a sense. So what you do is you just squeeze on the nut bag, and all the milk comes through the bag into this container, like that. Now, I usually make milk once a week, but then again, if I've been cooking a lot and using a lot of milk, then I will go ahead and make another batch. There is whey in here, and there is almond fat. So like in the morning, when you come in to get it, it'll be separated, and your fat is at the top, just like cream, or just like milk, if you ever see raw milk or do raw milk. Okay, so let me get a bowl here, and you can see what it looks like. So I will empty. They usually call it nut meat. Okay, so the nut meat is now in a bowl. And this will get dried out and be turned into flour. Now I just pour the milk, the strained milk, in these milk bottles. pull it back. Maybe you can see it better. Come on, stay on. Motion lights. All right, so then I'll just pour in half in each bottle, and the rest of the way I'll just go ahead and add water. Now, if I was going to do cheese, I would do less water when I'm pureeing it, and then I wouldn't add water again because you want it to be, ooh. That's what I get for talking. You want it really fatty for cheese. And when you do cheese, you use lemon juice, you know, like for sour cream and stuff. So yeah, pretty good stuff. I love it. So just wipe off your containers. And so what I'll do now is I'll just fill it up with water. Let me go fill up one. So this one's filled up. I'll show you. There we go. It's filled up with water. And then the other one is still has to be filled up. Oop. It's kind of hard to show you there. Okay, there you go. Anyway, so that's how I make my almond milk. All right, good talking. Bye-bye.